I'm good. I mean, yeah, not much has changed, I guess you could say. Um, yeah, life's good. Feeling more recovered and working towards some projects and having a blast with it. So it's good.
Nice, man. You want to
Thanks.
share projects?
Well, sure. Yeah, I mean, one's the community wellness space, or like the light center, yeah, uh, for the community, and I've just been um like I have slides ready. I'm working on like finishing up a pitch deck, and I also am now looking for getting designs of like 3D model sketches of what the design could look like on the ground, like of say like a healing center or the fitness center or whatever it may be. It will need like if I'm gonna present it to people, my uncle who's an architect, he recommended that. He was like, yeah, for investors, or just presenting to people in general, if you show them a visual sketch, like they're gonna be more inclined to what you're showing them than just the idea alone, just being able to see it. So right now I'm like I don't know if you saw my message, but I'm searching for how to get those sketches done in a nice manner because I could do a sketch. It's just that I'm not like professional grade, you know what I mean? So I'm looking for a way to get that done.
You should
Yeah.
reach out to Michaela and see because she had some good AI sketches for her event or her space in Bali.
Mm,
So my suggestion is to reach out directly to her. You know, send her a message in the group and just tag her and see if she's open to share with you some of the sketches. Or here, I'll just share with you right now what what she has shared with me, so then you can get an idea if this is something that I don't know how she did it or what that looked like, but
yeah.
uh, she kind of sent me a business plan. So
Awesome.
I think this might be, and she's okay with me sharing it, so I'll just send this to you.
Cool. Thanks, man. Yeah, I reached out to Michaela, Nick, and Rayhan about
Cool.
all having a call. Yeah, they all seem they've all got their different life scenarios. This is cool.
Yeah, my suggestion, because everybody's probably busy, is just seeing if you can meet them on one of the group calls, because
Yeah,
this way might be more. Everyone has their schedules, but they all know the group call, and that might be. I mean, whatever works for you guys, but I'm just letting you know it might be that advantageous.
yeah.
Um,
That's why I was trying to have that happen today, but Rayhan was saying today's the last day at UPW and
yeah, it
um
is UPW. I was even questioning to come on today, to be honest, because UPW is on,
yeah.
um, I knew that you sent that message yesterday, so I wanted to make sure that somebody is here to support you.
Thanks, man. I really appreciate it. Thank
Yeah,
you.
of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. I really, I really listen and pay attention, but like, not but and UPW, because we're so connected to Tony, especially me. I'm kind of allowing myself to fully be present in the learning stage because then the more I learn, the more I can give back to our community, right? The more I learn about myself, the more stronger I become, the more stronger I can give back. Does that make sense? So like the reason that people resonate with the Lighthouse in the way that they do is because I'm following the lessons that I'm learning from Tony and the community, right? And
Yeah.
so give more because I take the time to fill up and take care of myself, which is important for all of us, right?
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. I feel like when people see someone who, really like embodies what they say, then they're gonna be more inclined to be like, I wanna listen. You know? So definitely, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what I've discovered. I mean, for me, and why people are starting to discover parts of the things that I'm saying at a deeper level, you know,
Mm.
because I'm operating from that deep level myself.
Yeah, yeah. How do you maintain that deeper level? I mean it's awareness for sure. I just noticed for me, like, I mean, obviously we're at different points in our own journeys. I just noticed for me that I'll have experiences that are very like heightened awareness experiences, and then I'll kind of have to go through my own shit to try and like keep that, like, the experience never goes away. I guess it's just that, like, I did notice my own bullshit more to learn how to integrate that more into my life, I guess you could say.
So I think the biggest thing is that what I've learned is that genius comes from really being a student. Genius comes from taking the time of modeling the people that you really respect and admire. But other people's experience is what's going to allow you, me, and everyone else that we want to learn from uh, to learn from what they've done, not what they've talked about. Because if you talk about it through your own experience, and I've
Hmm.
learned this from like doing business with people that I encourage them to do a step and I encourage them to make a decision and I encourage them because I see their wisdom. But what I've discovered is that if they haven't done it yet, if they haven't done what I see that is possible in them, that I'm actually pushing them. I'm not pulling them. And so we need to learn and be around people. Like if we want to get to another level, we need to be around the people that are at that next level. We can't pull people. So for me, it's not about needing to push them anymore. It's about learning from somebody that has done it rather than has talked about it.
Mm. Yeah, that's a game changer for sure.
Because and I can in with my even previous business partner, he just talks a lot about, or he talked in the past, he talked a lot about everything that he thinks he could do, but he hasn't done it yet.
Mm. Yeah,
And
I mean
so
that.
it creates a huge level of fear
Hmm.
in his eyes, and you can see it in his decisions.
Mm. Yeah.
Whereas I want to be around people, and what I'm learning is that I need to be around people that want to play a bigger game in life.
Hmm.
So,
No, for
and then
sure.
yeah, so
Sorry.
putting yourself in those experiences where you can own the next level of your identity by learning from people that have done what you want to do.
Mm. Okay, so it's really about the right people, being around the right people, and is what I'm gathering. Is what I'm gathering, learning from the right people. Maybe not always being around the right people, but
Well,
learning from.
right and wrong is based off of your needs, right?
Yeah,
Right and wrong is based off of what your needs are. It doesn't mean that right and wrong exists. Right and wrong is based off of your perception, right? But what I'm saying is if you see where you want to go and you
mhm,
want to get there and another person is there or has either the money, the finance, the business knowledge, the consciousness, the spirituality, the life, the dreams, the wife, the family, the relationship, then learn from those people.
yeah,
Don't learn from somebody that talks about getting there.
that too,
Learn from somebody that is embodied and is there.
for sure, for sure. No, I now, yes, got you. Yeah, I mean, that just makes total sense. It's like, why would you listen to somebody who is not speaking from experience? And I noticed myself doing that, sometimes very subtly. It's not a common thing, but I do notice myself sometimes I'll start saying something like, and then I know that I don't have experience in this, but then I already am saying, I'm like, shoot, I have to finish this one off. But yeah, no, I definitely know the difference in feeling, like when you really know what you're talking about versus when you're just kind of bullshitting it. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so you can pay attention. And I've learned the clarity in that dialogue, the difference of being in the head versus being in the heart. There's a different level of actually presence and expression. When people are talking to you from the head, they're just very much like it's very difficult for them to have eye contact. They constantly are like kind of moving their eyes away. There's a lot of expression that is very staggered. It's not very embodied. It's very difficult to express themselves. And it's coming from the mind. Like even right now, you see the break there, that break in my language, in the way that I'm thinking, that came from my head. But if I'm really actually here present with you and I'm talking from my experience of what has happened through my life and how my experience is going through an existing issue in my life or something that I've been through, you're sensing it in my body and my mannerisms. There's a
Mm,
different, it's very clear picture. It's a clear reflection.
mm, mm, mm. Yeah, yeah. I Yeah, it's communicated in a different way, but it's felt. Definitely, I agree. You can sense the difference. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, the other project that I'm working on is is the Terra Viva Gardens, and I got in contact about that with Sigitas, uh because it was at a point where I was like, I really want to start something, but and I was sharing with him about sustainable landscaping, and he was like, no, that doesn't sound like I'm not gonna he wasn't like, I'm not gonna tell you not to do it, but it doesn't sound like it's resonating to the highest degree within you. And I was like, okay, that's fair. And he just was like, yeah, why don't you do like a community garden that where you give part of the produce back to the community. So you're basically renovating the front yard and you're also giving back to the community. And I was like, that sounds amazing. So I incorporated part of the like drought tolerant aspect because I really wanted to have like drought tolerant crops be a part of it, just because I've witnessed the amount of like overwater use that's here in a drought area. And like it definitely, if we could help it, it would be better. It's not like sustainability, but it's definitely like more of a awareness towards like the the amount of energy that we're using, I guess you could say, right? Like, yeah, I mean, especially in this place. So, yeah, it wouldn't be not everywhere in the world is like that, but here in Santa Barbara, it's necessary. So, yeah, incorporating that and incorporating aspects of like uh native plants that can feed the butterflies and the bees and everything like that. Also, those local lives. So yeah, I'm working with Luan and we've made Terra Viva Gardens. So it's nice and I'm working with Luca and just starting to get some footing here on the ground. Um and yeah, so that's the other project.
Amazing. I love it.
Thank
Tell me, so Tel Aviv?
Terra Viva. Yeah. Yeah.
I love it. Love it.
Thanks.
It sounds amazing. So the gardening, agriculture, any food as well?
Yeah. So it's like exactly. So whoever gets a garden would have 40% of the produce go to their family and 60% would go to the local community food bank. So we'd be giving to families, local families, and we'd be giving back to the community to those in need.
So
And what's that?
where are you thinking of making these happen?
Where am I making it happen?
Yeah.
Um, well, we're starting here in Santa Barbara. This is where we're starting. Right now we're just trying to get a footing on the ground with landscaping and like just trying to get some form of connection, some form of footing with it. So like we're even offering doing like uh leaf cleanup or hedge trimming, which is different than what is the end goal. However, it's just to build a connection with people who need stuff done with their yard to start. And then Jing Hong actually invited Luan and I to come out in January to plant a garden in his backyard and, be one of the first, clients, I guess you could say. So it's like it's nice. Yeah. It's
Nice. So is he gonna take care of all the materials and things like this for you? So he'll like cover the costs?
That's a good question. It didn't sound like it. It sounds like he said he would pay us with just staying at his house and feeding us for a week, and we can basically plant a garden. Um,
I would ensure that your energy is valued and making sure that he covers the costs, all of them, including getting you there.
oh, okay. Uh,
Because the value that you're going to bring is going to be to the land, to him, to making sure that this. And so by you bringing your energy to make it happen, and the design and the creativity and the acknowledgement of the people, then he can actually cover the costs
mm,
of what's going to be staying in his garden that you're going to design, right? So, and then as a result, that could be a proof of scalability that he can then be a part of as the growth of that continues to be. So, by him investing into the materials and you investing into the time, you guys merge together a business plan that then afterwards you can then duplicate and he could be a part of. But as a result, you guys are both bringing two different things to the table. He's kind of your investor. You're
mhm,
investing your time. He's investing money.
mm. Okay. Yeah, thank you. I
It shouldn't come out of your pocket. It should come out of your time and energy.
mm,
But if you're doing it for him, he could then pay either the materials or you.
yeah,
I
yeah.
think what I'm learning is that it's I mean the biggest thing that I'm discovering is that the value that we bring from a pure heart, bro, and the value that there's nothing wrong with asking for money or getting paid for doing the thing that you love.
Hmm.
There's nothing
Yeah,
wrong with that,
definitely. Yeah, I agree for sure.
right? This is an old bullshit belief system that we can't get paid for what we love doing. This is an old system, an old bullshit, old story.
Yeah, yeah. No, definitely. Definitely, definitely. I have uh I didn't think that I had like much sufferings around money, but now that life is kind of throwing me in scenarios where like I'm starting to realize that I kind of do. You know what I mean? Like I did because I've never had to really worry about it before. Um and if it was like small amounts or like towards the festival at moments, but even then it was momentary. It was not huge, but like now I'm just realizing that, you know, I'm gonna be financially independent and I I'm just realizing that I have more suffering than I ever thought about money. It's interesting.
But maybe you had in the past. Remember, the present moment we create as we speak, right?
Mhm.
So I have a question. Why would you say that you have suffering about money? Why would you tell yourself that story right now? Could you right now in this moment say in the past I've had suffering about money and now I choose to change my perspective? Because how quick can you change your thought process?
Instantaneous. Yeah. Okay. I love that. Yeah. It's in the past. It's in the past, that thought process. Yeah. Okay. Awesome. Thank you.
So
Yeah.
right now, think of an encouraging experience and a relationship that you have around money, and you will make it happen. So, what's an encouraging and empowering meaning that you can give to money? What does money do for you that encourages and helps you change the vision of the future?
It gives me the tool to be able to change the future. And it's like yeah.
It empowers you. It creates more power around you. It's portable power that helps you receive more and give more.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's energy. It's additional amount of energy that allows you to amplify.
Mm. Yes. I love that. I love that. And I feel like that's why when you give money, you just feel, yeah, I've experienced that where you give money away and you just feel really good.
And
It's
it's
like,
not just giving, it's also allowing yourself to receive it.
yeah,
Because
yeah,
I can tell you from my experience that in the past, I was always about scared to ask people for money for my value.
mm,
And I give so much that I forget to say, hey, no, this is what I'm going to start charging you for my time, my energy, my ability to help you create solutions.
mm, yeah, yeah, definitely. I agree. Being able to receive and also for what I've experienced is like I I made that switch um because I also had a similar experience and then I made that switch last year and then I noticed that we aimed or I went along also with that and in aiming too high like uh you know what I mean like I read your business mastery. I liked how you said finding a value that is not too low but not too high for what you're offering. That's not word for word, but that's what the idea is. And I was like, that's so true because I went from one side to them being like, okay, give us. this much X amount, and it's like it's too, you know, it's much more than what is being offered. So I definitely agree. Finding that sweet spot, it's important.
And it could be in a way, like I said, it doesn't need to be about just because remember, when you ask for money specifically, you get paid once. When you ask for advice, you get paid twice. So what I mean by this is that if, for example, with Jin, right, you could say, hey, we're coming there. What are your thoughts on partnering on this idea? And then you can talk about the idea that, hey, you cover the costs of the proof of kind of concept of the thing, and then as a result, we put in our effort, our energy, our focus, our design, and we make this into a business plan that creates a growth model for the future. And now you're getting paid twice because you're getting paid by working with his advice, you're giving your advice, but then also you're getting paid later when you show this to the market and it becomes another opportunity. So it there's a different, like, it's a more creative way of getting paid. It doesn't mean that you have to get paid or say, hey, this is how much I need, or hey, this is how much I value, or hey, this is how much I want.
Hmm.
It means that, hey, how can we be more creative about winning at the table so that everybody is winning?
Yeah.
Because this is something that I believe might be a really new way of approaching a situation. Because then, as a result, it's not just about receiving, it's also about giving. And then this harmonious thing is just not allowing yourself to only give, 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 and forget about the receiving part.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you.
And when I'm saying this, I'm sharing this because I'm also sharing this for myself, right? As I've been growing, I've been giving so much, and I've been forgetting about receiving.
Yeah. Yeah. I definitely, yes. Yes. Thank you. Um, yeah. And also what I've experienced is like receiving without having to make it um like a transactional. I mean, this is slightly different than what we were talking about before, but like say you receive advice, then not instantly going like, "Oh, how can I not saying like how can I help you isn't a bad, like that's good. I'm just saying like not doing it out of a place of like, "Oh, you've helped me, now I have to help you." And like, you know what I mean? Or you gave me something, now I have to give you something in return, right? It's like getting out of that mind space. Yeah. Definitely. So did you learn the getting out of like if you're in your head, you're dead, getting out of your head from the jungle or from Tony Robbins?
I mean, Tony's words are get out of your head. If you're in your head, you're dead. But I didn't understand it. So what I mean by that is that I look back at my life, uh, Shaw, and I remember asking so much from such a long period of time,
Hmm.
from since I was a little boy, like, why does this not make sense? Why is what I'm being told doesn't feel right? It doesn't feel good. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't resonate. And it was amazing because for the first time in my life, when I was at Date with Destiny in Cannes, everything Tony Robbins was saying, it made sense. It didn't speak to me, it spoke to my soul.
Mm.
And I remember in that time making a commitment, like, I'm gonna figure out how to do what he does. But I didn't understand that what he does is not just talking. He's
Mm,
done a lot of things behind the scenes, like behind in businesses, in ventures, in experiences. And that's what's made him so powerful is because he's trained his muscles. So when I was in the jungle, I was able at a very fast level that probably would have taken me decades
mm,
to really take his teachings and anchor it into my body because I was so in the head, bro. I was so much operating from why am I here? Who am I? What's my reason for living?
mm,
Uh, Even when I had the cognitive tools and even the experience of going through Tony's mastery programs or platinum and all these things, I still didn't understand the spirit world.
yeah.
Meaning I didn't understand it. I understood it cognitively. I even understood it emotionally, but I didn't understand it physically.
Mm,
So what I mean is I didn't actually understand that what he was doing in that microcosm of the world, his world, was a micro of the macro of what we are here as a global spiritual beings having a human experience. So I felt very scared to express myself with that level of infiniteness outside of Tony's presence.
mm,
So he said, put yourself in enough environments to really learn about different things. And if you can influence enough of those environments, you're going to become a master of your own meaning, meaning a master of your own life.
mm. Yeah.
And so this gave me enough times that I kept doing it. So being in the jungle, spending time in Ecuador, going down to the Middle East, Australia, all these different places, I was doing a lot of the difficult things of following my mission and sharing about how we can do business better and enhance culture and creativity and social impact, that it started to become who I am. It no longer became a message of Tony, it became a message of Eric.
Yeah.
And people started to see me as myself, not as a student of Tony, or not as a platinum partner, or not as you know, a marketer, but as Eric Balance.
Oh yeah.
And I created this fucking guy sitting in front of you. Like I created this man.
Yeah.
You know, I would always compare myself to Tony for a very long time, and now I just stand on his shoulders and appreciate the man that he is, and that the ability that he's given me to really shine myself. Because
Mm,
instead of me competing or comparing,
yeah.
I choose to see the wisdom that he's cultivated, and I know that he's a master. You know, one of my previous business partners would always say, "Hey, but you're comparing us," when I would say, "Hey, we're different. We're just on a different level." And I said, "No, we're not. I'm not comparing. I'm just recognizing what's different. I've experienced a different way of life and a different way of being, and you have experienced a different way of being. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just different, but there's no comparison. It's him that's seeing the comparison. So we choose to see what we want."
Yeah. Mm. Yeah, we're choosing our perspective. That's interesting. I feel like I've experienced that in very short loops, but yeah, that's really cool. Mm.
I believe that you're so in your heart, my brother, and you're a leader and you can lead by the heart. Stop or don't stop anything. So that's the wrong word. I encourage you to not worry about what anybody thinks. Just shine because you're already being and trusting in yourself. You're already choosing to do the right things. You have a good heart. You want to do the right things. You want to do it with, or you want to do it with pure intention. And the karmic expression of that purity and that truthfulness. You don't have anything to prove to anybody, brother. You just need to own it. Own the fact that you're a good person with a good heart that wants to do good things and that you deserve the value that is coming to you. Don't apologize for being amazing. Don't apologize for wanting to express yourself with grace and kindness. Don't apologize for wanting to show up and be who you are. Don't apologize for wanting to express yourself with kindness and support. Don't apologize for wanting to do something that hasn't been done before. Don't
Mm,
apologize. Just do it. And
mm,
if people don't see that by you being yourself is of value, then they're not meant to be around you.
mm.
And be
Yeah,
okay with that too. Because I see your love, brother. You're a loving man. And
thank you.
I know that when I was your age, I would have needed to hear that.
Yeah, yeah, it's okay. Yeah, definitely.
I'm
It's
really speaking to you, but I'm speaking to my younger self right now as well.
no, that's beautiful. I love that. Yeah, 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 definitely. Definitely allowing myself to just, like you said, be me and that lovingness, express it freely to whoever it is, kind of, I guess sometimes in the past I've gotten in my head about who I can express my lovingness to, like only certain people I can, certain people. Not that I don't love them for being human, it's just that they don't really see that side, you know. But we'll leave that be.
But even if they don't see it, doesn't mean you have to limit it.
Mm,
So even if they don't see it, doesn't mean that you have to come down to their level to be, it's like Tony said something so funny. He's like, you leave in this like empowered state, you create this empowering meaning, you create this empowering self, and then people are like, hey, like fuck you, like why are you? No, I'm just gonna come down here and feel like shit like you. Like no, it means that you just own who you are, you shine bright like the sun, and you express yourself whenever you need to, and you do what if people don't see the value, then they can go their way. That's okay.
yeah. Yeah, I definitely sorry. Excuse me. I definitely need to just own it and be myself much more. I notice I yeah, well, in the past I tend to go silent and just I'll know who I am. It's just that if it's not being appreciated or if it's not going to be even understood or grasped by the people that I'm around, then I tend to just be like, okay, I'm not gonna like I'm cool. I'm chill with myself. I'll just sit here. You know what I mean? Yeah.
And that's good too. That's amazing.
Yeah.
You don't need to express yourself if you don't want to as well. That's also a big part of expression, right? Is knowing when not to,
Mm.
when not to speak, when just to listen.
Yeah. Definitely.
Because you're right, if people aren't going to value what you have to say, what's the point of saying it?
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I agree 1000%.
And by the way, that's a huge part of presence. That's a huge part of like really being comfortable and knowing yourself.
Mm. Yeah, I feel like I have to be more comfortable with the expression. Like it's like I feel like I know a lot about myself inside uh myself. It's just that I don't it doesn't always translate in the way that I present it into the world, or it doesn't always get expressed fully in the way that I present it to the world.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so that those are part of the tools of like reading the books, doing the work, and listening to being around somebody that has done it before. Because then, as a result, by modeling or being around, if you come to more of these calls, you will probably start to be able to express yourself even more by expressing yourself more in these calls.
Yeah.
Because then you'll be able to do it in kind of this experience. And then as a result, when you're outside in the world, you'll also then be able to integrate it faster.
Mm. Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Because
I,
your internal dialogue is constantly going, right? And the less you allow the internal dialogue, the more present you are. So you
mm,
can truly listen. And if you have something that is really meaningful and you can express it with that level of certainty, then you're constantly just being yourself. You're not being in your mind.
yeah, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Thanks, man.
Yeah, and that helps.
Yeah. It does. I noticed that when I was when we were like doing the family calls, and everything, yeah, the family calls and the Friday meetings, I noticed that it was definitely I was able to start uh how should I say it? Yeah, embodying, yeah, like it was um becoming easier for me to express, I guess you could say. And it still is not like the biggest difficulty now. It's just that I notice I have more hesitation. I've had I've had more hesitation. Um yeah, just had more mental uh dialogue I've had. But yeah.
So why don't
Mm.
you show or come to more of these daily meetings if you can?
Mm.
And let's finish off with a prayer for Sunday blessings, and I'll start, and then you can finish it. Is that cool? And then it can help you really get into this place of expression, of trusting and feeling into what's inside you and wants to come out. Is that cool?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so let's take a breath in. Allow yourself to really just get into your amazing, beautiful, loving body that we so much are so grateful for because we get to be here now and present. Take a breath in. Beloved Spirit, thank you so much for this beautiful day, this beautiful, harmonious conversation with Shah so that we can continue to allow what's coming through to regularly come through. May we continue to live and embody the place of peace and really ownership of the way that we choose to show up in this world, and we continue to have this place of grace. May we attract whatever is needs that you believe that comes through us with us alongside us so that we can continue to do your will, continue to serve in the spirit of harmony, of congruence of intention, and maybe just be able to show up as we are so we can really appreciate and be appreciated for everything that we choose to contribute and grow on this beautiful playground of planet Earth. With that, I'd love to encourage Shaw, if you want to share anything, please like let it come
Mm.
through, my brother.
Yeah, I just want to ask for a blessing that we be ourselves and we just own our presence and our being. And I'm just very grateful at this moment for the divine and universe. And I'm asking that we just be present to one another. And yeah, I'm that's all I have to say. And thank you, Eric, for this space and harmony and balance. And thank you, God, for all of the above.
Your blessing, brother.
Thank you. Likewise.
Thank you for this conversation today. I'm grateful for you, man, and I hope to see you keep coming back.
Thank you, bro. Yes, yes. More Lighthouse meetups. I love it. Thank you.
Have
Peace,
a
man.
beautiful Sunday, my brother.
Thank you, you too. I really appreciate you. Bye.
Likewise, I'm always here for you. Ciao.
Mm.